As you may or may not have noticed in my comments, I recently ordered something off eBay about a week and a half ago, and it finally came in. Here it is. Dun 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 dun. What is it? Well, you're gonna have to wait and see. Now, I hope it's the right color, because you know how it is on eBay sometimes. You know, I specifically wanted this item in a specific color. It was a harder color to find, so I kind of went out of my way to try and find this actual color. But sometimes on those eBay stores, you're like, the way you pick the proper item, it's like, well, did they even, notice what color I wanted? It's like, I hope I get the right color. But anyways, let's open it up. It's the right color. It's the right color. Yes, red and white, as opposed to the silver/black or indigo/white. I wanted the red and white. So, as you guys can see, this is a Yobo FC. This is a Family Clone made by Yobo Gameware. This is one of the better ones for the price. This is a NES clone. This is a new NES system, a top loader. And, there's a whole whack load of these out there. This one costs, I shit you not, about 20 bucks. I paid, I don't know, probably $25, $30 for this with tax and ship and everything. So they're really cheap. I've yet to see one in real life. I've seen lots of reviews online, and I've seen them on different websites. So here's the system. It's very small, as you can see. I can fit it in my hand. So it's a very, very small system. It's a top loader, plays your American NES games. Power, reset, controller 1, controller 2. Now these are NES 7-pin. Your standard actual Nintendo controllers will work in this. The Duck Hunt, the Zapper will work in this. Basic DC input, your power, and your AV output. So there's no RF, boo-hoo. There's your AV cables, and there's your power adapter. A very small little power adapter. Now these are the controllers that it comes with, and I've actually heard a lot of reviews on, other people that have got these, done YouTube reviews. I've actually heard a lot of good things about these controllers. They're actually supposed to be pretty decent, and it does come with two, and they're matched colors. So let me see if I can get this open. This might take a second. And if you're wondering why I wanted this specific color so bad, this is basically a copy of the original Famicom colors. The original Famicom was that kind of off red and white combination, and so this is kind of like a tribute to the original Famicom. The silver ones and the blue ones, they look good and all, but I just really wanted to get the Famicom colors. They really wrapped this good. They got the frickin' wires wrapped, and then they got the controller wrapped. They do not spare the zip ties and the plastic wrap in China. There we go. There's the controller. It's pretty small, but it does have your turbo buttons. Let me see if I can put the camera down and hold this controller at the same time. It feels really good, actually. I'm surprised. It's very comfortable. It fits in your hand almost like it's a little smaller than a Super Nintendo controller, but it's got the rounded sides. It kind of feels like a slightly smaller Super Nintendo controller. And, you've got your A, B, but then you've got your Turbo A and your Turbo B, so at any time you can use any combination that you want. They also have a slow motion button, which is really just turbo on the start button, so it doesn't work very good most of the time. But anyways, like I said, it's a top loader. So what that means is it's more it's more reliable than the original NES, where you stuck the game in, you had the zero force insertion, and then you had to push the game down, and that made contact with the bottom row of pins. That didn't make a very secure connection, and we know now, especially when those aluminum pins in there start to corrode, it's even less reliable of a connection, whereas a straight load, it just always works better. So that just goes in like so. It kind of looks funny because the actual game is bigger than the system itself. Make sure you have clean games, of course. You know, your games don't work in your original NES because they're really dirty. Well, don't just go sticking them in here, because you're just gonna put dirty games into a brand new system. You know, most of my games, for the most part, have been fairly well cleaned, so that's not a problem for me. But anyways, I'm gonna test this out now. So we know that the controller it comes with is gonna work, obviously, so there's no point in showing that. This is an official NES controller. And so I'll put that in there. So there's the official NES controller. There's Rad Racer. And here we go, first try. How you like that? No fucking blue screens, yellow screens, orange screens, red screens, black screens, whatever they are on your screen. And guess what? The controller's not working. So yeah, what the hell's up with that? Just one second. Okay, original controllers are supposed to work on this, yet my start and select don't work, and my A button equals frickin' select. And it's pressing down. So something is right fucked. Original controller not working in this. I'm gonna have to play around with it for a minute. So the controller it came with is working, but why won't the real one? Let me go grab another real one. Okay, here's a real controller, and it's working. So I guess one of my controllers was just bad. I got a bunch of these lying around. It's possible that one of them was broken. As you can see, this one's working fine. So there you go. Works with original controllers. And here we have the zapper. So here you can see it works perfectly fine with the zapper as well. I guess that was just a random coincidence that the first controller I pulled out didn't work in it, as the other controller and the zapper do work fine, and the controllers that it came with work fine. So anyways, normally I'm not a fan of clone systems. I repeat, I'm not a fan of clone systems. Someone asked me if I liked the idea of the FC Twin, which plays NES and Super Nintendo games in the same system. No, I don't. Someone asked me if I like the NES and Genesis, the Gen X. No, I don't. I don't like clone systems. I have all the real systems, and therefore I like all the real systems. The fact is, the Super Nintendo's a top loader. It runs games perfectly fine. There's no point going out and buying a clone. You can get Super Nintendos relatively easily, although they are starting to go up in price. For the Genesis, absolutely no reason to have a Genesis clone. Guy I know just recently bought a Genesis clone, and I was like, why? Here's the fact: you can get Model 2s a dime a dozen. I go down to the pawn shops, every weekend. There's Genesis 2s everywhere. You pick up Genesis 2s for 20 bucks. I mean, small little system, top loading, all the games work perfectly all the time. I don't see the point for a clone. But with the original NES, and its, zero force insertion, 72-pin connection design flaw, I can kind of see the point in this one. I can keep my original NES, and I know it's going to work 40 years down the road when it's really a collectible item. For the time being, if I just want to grab an NES game and play it, or grab a Zapper game and play it, I'll just use this, and it's going to keep that 72-pin lasting longer. So, and for 25 bucks, 20 bucks in shipping, I think this is a pretty neat little system. It's definitely just a fun little toy for me, really. It's not like I needed one, but I just wanted to show you guys that it's a pretty cool alternative to try and finding an NES. If you don't care about the collector value like I do, I care more about the collector value of the actual system. So to me, having the real thing is You know, it's got the nostalgic qualities and all that. But you know, if you just want to play those games that you find, and you just want to play Zapper games, $20, pick up one of them.